our valedictorian. And I had a conversation with Thomas's mom, it was probably about 3 weeks ago or so, and Siobhan said to me, "Can you believe Thomas is the valedictorian?" And I said, "Well, you know what? I'm actually not very surprised." But I went back and I thought, is there any evidence that would show that Thomas would be selected as the valedictorian? So I went back to his report cards from grade 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, because I can do that. And these are some of the comments that I found that actually show me that there is no surprise that Thomas is valedictorian. From Mrs. Dufour, grade 7, language and literature. "Tom has put forth an exceptional effort this term and should be proud of his efforts. He has a special gift for writing creatively, and I hope he will continue to foster this skill." In grade 9, Mr. Newman wrote, for drama class, of course, "Tom finished the year very strongly with some impressive work, building a character in the scripted drama unit." In grade 10, Mr. Carswell wrote about Thomas. "Tom contributes thoughtful ideas to class and adds positive energy to the group with his terrific personality. He can occasionally get off topic and is encouraged to maintain focus on the topic at hand. Hopefully he will tonight." In grade 11, in business class, Thomas was reported to exceed at creative projects. But what I found most interesting was Mr. Grant's comments, who have nothing to do with his ability to be a valedictorian, but in grade 8 said, "Thomas has approached science fair with incredible enthusiasm, and his results will surely be interesting." And then in brackets, "and hopefully acquired without serious injury." So I had to go back and look, and I went, I'm thinking, okay, potato gun?
Yeah, that was it.
It was the potato gun. Spuds with wings. Gotta love it as a science fair project. Thomas certainly is no surprise to anyone who has worked with him as our valedictorian. He is a creative, conscientious, well-loved member of our class. And Thomas, I'm giving you no ammunition to come back at me, okay? So there you go. Say nice things about you. I hope you will welcome Thomas Furst, the valedictorian for the class of 2023.
I had a really good comeback, so now I don't know what to do. Yeah. Hello, friends, family, faculty, and most importantly, fellow graduates of 2017. Tom Furst here. My brother said that if I get nervous, that I should just picture everyone in the audience in their underwear. But unfortunately, my brother is in the audience. So I'm gonna try to scrub that mental image out of my brain. While we're on the topic of being in your underwear, I want to point out that the last time I was in front of all of you, I tore off my pants at the Green Fashion Show while NSYNC was playing. I'm saying this because I want to warn you how disappointing the speech will be, as there is no point in the speech where I tear off my pants again. If I'm being honest, I am terrified right now. Doing a speech in front of my friends and family, my classmates and their families, and teachers that I have had for the past 10 years freaks me out. But even though I am shaking with fear right now, this isn't even the scariest part about today. The scariest part about today is the realization that we finished classes, we finished exams, we finished graduation, and now we finished dinner. The scary part about that is that there's nothing left. Believe me, I am just as excited as all of you that we'll be able to start our own independent lives, and we get to live on our own and make our own choices and eat nothing but instant ramen until we learn to cook something. But there is still a part of me that is really scared for what's next. Because feel like I spent way too long following a routine. I've been following this routine for 10 years now. It was going to this school, and it's made following my path much easier to find. They say that when one door closes, another one opens. And I think that it's important to notice that up until now, the doors have been very easy for us to find. They've been so easy because it didn't take much searching. We had maps written out for us and blinking signs pointing us towards a certain door, teachers and parents guiding us in the right direction, and Miss Curry shouting at us what time it is in the morning to make sure we got to said door on time. But now, there aren't any blinking signs, there aren't any maps or guides. We simply have to find our own way now. This is the future for us. We are now finding our own paths. We will be now pioneers, creating a new and exciting trail to follow. And we will hope that as we cross the deserts of hard work, we will find the oasis of success. By going into this future, we are able to leave behind all of our failures that have scarred our judgment in the past. By moving on, we're able to create a new identity, a new set of goals, a new list of values that become our top priority. We can also leave in the dust all of the things that have haunted us for so long. We can abandon the failed tests, the missed IA deadlines, the extended SAT years, and everything else, because in the end, it didn't change who you are as a person. As a person, you will inevitably find something that you are not good at. It will make you frustrated and you will try to avoid it, and it might make you even question your intelligence. But we cannot let our weaknesses get the better of us, because they will always be around, and we can't let it deter us from who we want to be. Some of you may have already found a weakness. For some of us, it may be math, and for others, it may be English. For me, it's talking to girls. Thank you for laughing at my weakness. We also have to remember that if you don't excel at something at first, it doesn't mean you aren't capable of doing it. For example, when I first came to this school, I was barely able to tell a story properly. I would mess up my communication and nobody would ever understand what I was trying to say. And I would get frustrated. I would get frustrated at the idea that something that seemed so easy in my mind was so challenging for me to accomplish. I felt that no matter what I did, people wouldn't be able to understand me, and my thoughts would forever stay in my head because the correct words I needed to say couldn't be said. And I would shout as if the correct words I needed to say wouldn't be. I'm sorry, I am lost right now. Valedictorian, can't read. And I would shout what I had already said as if the reason no one understood was because they just couldn't hear me. But 10 years later, I'm now able to speak in front of all of you, finally able to be heard. This is something I never imagined being able to do. However, the skills that I learned over the past 10 years were not achieved in a eureka moment in the middle of the night. It took several years to accomplish this. And I think that it's a perfect time to talk about this because a lot of people who I have to thank are in the crowd, actually. I have to thank the people who made sure that despite the crowds of people that had something to say, they made sure that each person was listened to and each opinion was heard. Within the hundreds of people who went to this school and needed to be listened to, the staff and faculty was still able to find one person who couldn't find the words to what he wanted to say. And instead of dismissing the opinion as something that didn't need to be heard, they helped him find the words that needed to be said. That is something I am extremely grateful for. And I'm so glad that I found how to speak my mind. because soon after there was an incident on the school baseball field where I was able to say my thoughts. And they were definitely heard by many people. When I had gone up to the plate in a game of baseball, a fellow student across the field shouted, "Easy out." With my newfound confidence, I was able to say what I was thinking and show back to my classmate, "I've played baseball for 5 years, asshole!" I was really proud of myself at that moment. And although he may never admit it, I think that was when Mr. Carswell was most proud of me too. I found something recently that I wanted to show you guys that I can't get out of my pocket right now. Jesus Christ. There we go. It's a star. I found it in my backyard and it has been broken down for quite some time. Because too many people wished on it, and that's a lot of pressure for one little star. The wishes that other people have for you cannot take priority over your own. What's important is that your wish comes true. You won't be able to be a shooting star unless you accomplish what you want to. The reason why I'm showing you this is because there may come a time where you want to follow a passion that others don't agree with. They might tell you it's a bad idea or dismiss it as merely a phase that in the grander scheme of things won't be worth your time. The star is supposed to signify how there will be people who disagree with you. Regardless of how intelligent you are, no matter how much you love it and despite how hard you work for it, people may try to convince you that a passion is not worth fighting for. It's impossible to please everyone. So if you're going to be disagreed with no matter what, then you need to be bold enough to be who you want to be. They say that when one door closes, another one opens. And it is up to now to decide which door leads us in the right direction. Congratulations, class of 17. I hope that your path isn't foggy and you're all able to become the stars you want to be. Thank you.